practice is whenever I lose a POC like this, it's just likely we head to this area. So just don't see how we don't end up at 23,133, but anything is possible. Let's take a look at the 4 hour. The 4 hour is extremely oversold, you know, like, but they did this here. They did it here. See where they, sorry, where they pinned the 4 hour, okay? And they just, we were low, then the low, 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 and they just pinned us. So they've done this to the 4 hour a couple times. Screaming move to the upside. The last time I used the 22 hour for the call was here, and he nailed it. Let's go. Check, check, check. Shout out to each and every one of you for jumping on into the live. Thank you for being here, calling yourself Crypto Lifers, and being a part of the live stream. Thank you so much
for jumping on it. I greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate each and every one of your time for coming on in. Let's break it down. Let's get into the markets. Let's have some fun. Let's do what we do every single day here. We've been through some of the biggest crashes on this channel. You know, we've been through some of the worst nights, some of the best days. We've seen some of the biggest pumps, some of the biggest dumps, and we've been here every single day now. I started this channel in September 2019, and we are rocking, baby. Rocking, rocking, rocking. Shout out to each and every one of you. Let's get that ticker up there. Shout out to everybody in the game. Appreciate each and every one of you for jumping on. Let's take a look at the world market real quick. UMA, only thing up here on the page. However, we were able to make gains. I'm going to show you where the gains came from in the trading group. I don't know how I do it, honestly, even when the market is completely dismal and acting completely irrational and doing dumb peasies. You know, we were able to still pull money out of the market. If you were in my trading group this morning, I said, you know, highly likely a short to the downside. That's a bear flag. That's also an M pattern with a slight head shoulder there. And I said, it's likely we're going to dump down to about 23,194 was my measured move, at least to 23,300. Also, we had BOOKMAP running this morning. We were able to see where it was most likely BOOKMAP was going to go. These things were obvious to me. High probability that the short was going to play out. Also, we did this, last night I called a pump. We did pump as I called it, but then we got rejected. And if you remember me, I call pumps all the time, but I also tell you, I may say, hey, highly likely to break out, highly likely to break out, but then I'll leave a caveat. I say, but if Bitcoin cannot break above 24,500, expect to remain bearish. You see? So you can call a pump all you want. The oscillators can look good. Everything can look great. But if you can't get above a support and resistance area, then you're going to the downside. It's simple as that. If you can't break above a previous high, you're going to the downside. I say this every single day. I say it all the time, constantly, constantly, constantly. Even when we were coming up out of this, we talked about when we were back here. If you remember correctly, when we were back here, I cautioned that we might be making an M pattern and to be very, very careful. You can go back to my live streams from that day. You can watch me make this pattern here and say, well, we may make an M and then dump back down to this level of liquidity or this area here. You know, that's the measured move of the M. So you must always heed your support and resistance lines. You must always take into account the areas that you must get above. If you don't get above significant resistance, which is created the second you go below it, then you're out. So everyone who says 27K, 30K, or makes these big predictions, I don't know where Bitcoin's going to go. I don't make big predictions like that. I do have an overall thesis that in 5 to 10 years, Bitcoin will outperform the assets that they print to zero. I mean, it makes sense. It's going to have a scarce, they're going to keep printing the dollar, right? So look, the liquidity has just completely erupted above 25,000. Remember we had these 24.5, 20, it's gone. You have this one guy up here trying to sell at 25K. He still has an order for 1,000 Bitcoins at 25,000. So you can see a big order up there, but it's dispersed somewhat. You can see the heat map has really edged its way down here, right? But this is the new heat map. Now we're at 23.3. The biggest order is at 23.3. 2,000 Bitcoins now trying to get bought at 23,300. So that's crazy. Trying to buy 2,000 Bitcoin. So there's been a lot of Bitcoin in this area, more than we've seen in a long time. So it's highly likely we go to 23,300. It's just basic math, all right? And that's why today we did go to that area. So if you're in my trading group, you were already privy to what was probably going to happen. This was out by 9 in the morning, and I was also putting out, just different charts to show you that this was highly likely to play out. So also what we talked about was the fact that if this was upside down, I would play this somewhat like a head and shoulder pattern, an inverted. This is a shoulder, here's a head, and there's a shoulder, and it's starting to dump to the downside. I mean, if you flip it upside down, even though it's not perfect, that's a shoulder, that's a head, that's a right shoulder. You could see yourself in an inverted head and shoulder. Let's pray today that we do not have a blackout for any reason. We don't lose any energy, and we go through the whole stream completely fine. Yesterday, dear Lord, thank you so much for, anytime you hit a roadblock, it's good for you. I'm going to explain why, because you're going to hit many roadblocks in life. Yesterday, my live stream got cut off somewhat in the middle, right? I got flustered for a half a second, but I was super calm about it, and I just said, only thing I can do is remake a new stream, call it part 2, and keep going. So it's exactly what I did. I didn't think about it. I just kept moving, right? And so the more we hit roadblocks and the more we keep moving, the more we're able to better ourselves and to figure out how to get out of sticky situations. And so that's what God wants. He wants you to be able to feed off the devil. The devil wants you in fear. Every time something bad happens, the devil gets in your head and starts making you worry, starts making you fear, starts making you get inside your head. Fear makes you paralyzed. You can't move when you're afraid. You worry too much. You can't get things. If you were in fear, if you worried all the day, if you wanted to start a business, but you worried about never getting customers, you would never start a business. If I worried that nobody would ever want my TA and look at me, then how could I ever start a trading group, right? Like, it starts with you. You're the first person that subscribes to your channel. Let me make that clear again. I love that saying, but if you don't subscribe to yourself, nobody else will. You subscribe to your own YouTube channel. You know what I'm saying? You know, and you don't have to have a YouTube channel, but, you know, ideologically, are you subscribed to your own channel in life? Because, you know, everyone said, you know, life is your own book. Life is your own channel. You know, shoot the movie, edit it the way you want it to be seen. Jump on in, baby. What are you waiting for? You're waiting for someone else to live the life you've been planning on doing? What are you waiting for? Who are you waiting for? Because they're not coming. It's going to be you. I used to wait for all of my business partners. My two friends made millions of dollars. Millions. My closest friends out of college. I'm talking 80, 100 mil. They made big money. All right? They did. And I thought they were just going to write me a check for like a couple $100,000 and help me start my company. I always thought they would just be like, dude, they had so much money. You know? One time I was trying to start a business. One of my buddies was like, oh, I gave this guy $300,000. He got sick. That went down the drain. And I was like, looking at him like, you know what I could have done with $300,000? And then I had a few business plans, and we almost were about to do it. And I had them about to sign a contract. We were about to make a documentary. And then they always pulled back on me. I don't know what it was. And anytime I was about to do something, and you know what? It was God telling me that it was on me. It wasn't going to be on them. And I kept saying, I'm going to have to find my destiny from a grain of salt. It's going to have to start from within, from absolutely nothing. So I started this channel with an old mic that I had. Dude, I moved into my parents' old house, and I started my channel in a one-bedroom apartment in Queens. Then I moved back to my old house, and I had an old table from when I was a kid, like an old crap table. It was like the crappiest older table. It was like an all oak table, 40 years old. And I was streaming on an old mic that I had bought 5 years ago to do rap songs with. And I was just loving my life. I was doing what I love. Now I have a $1,000 mic set up, right? I have all the proper equipment. I have stand-up desks. I have a $30,000 studio. But it started with a crap mic. And I wasn't even a crap mic. An NNT1A was a good mic, but it was a $200 mic that I bought 5 years prior. So don't let anything stop you from going where you want to go. Just go, baby. Just go. You see what I'm saying? Bet they wish they invested in you now, lifer. Long or short, baby. Hey, you know, now I'm happy they didn't invest in me because I don't got to share the winnings, baby. It's all mine. No, but you know what I mean? Like, you get an investor, you got someone breathing down your back. You got to answer to somebody. Now I don't have to answer to anybody. And that's the key. That's the beautiful thing. So this is worrisome to me. I've talked about this many times. I did not want to see this area break. My green zone was very important that we didn't break it. Why? Because it was the bottom of this bigger channel. Okay? So right now we're oversold in the 15-minute. I am expecting a bounce back to the upside. How strong is the question? Now, it's sad, but now we have resistance for Bitcoin. Resistance keeps getting pushed down. We've been slowly just cooling off for the last 4 or 5 days, just slowly making higher lows. And every time we made a crazy push up, it really just seemed to be a long enticement, a bear trap to get everyone in and then suck everybody back down, get everybody in, suck everybody. And that is, honestly, you can see the last few weeks, we've had ups and downs, but not like those two. Those two were highly manipulative moves, this one and this one. Very strange, honestly. To me, it shows some power at BE trying to force something onto us, high manipulation in the market. I watch price action, so I can see when there's extreme anomalies. And this here and this here were just insanity. Like, we have those, but not like that, you know? Let's try to even find another one like that. Look, you can't in the last few weeks. Right there is one. You know, but again, it's not as prevalent. You don't see them all the time, like pump and dumps. There's a fast dump and a pump back out. That's the opposite way. You can't help but feel the manipulation. You can't help but know that there's manipulation. Like, that's not proper price action. You don't break through resistance, come right back in, break through resistance, come back in, not hold support. Like, just not proper price action. It shows that there's an algorithm inducing the opposite behavior and then trying to recapitalize on it. It just, something's funny. I can pick up on the math. My brain can do the math. Like, something's funny. So anyway, it is what it is. Let me take a look at a bigger chart too. So right now, we called the dump to the downside. We didn't hit the measured move, but we did start to dump. I called a short even yesterday, right? Even though they played with it, probably stopped everybody out. But that, In my mind, the short was most likely, all right? Most likely. So how do you figure out where we're going now? I mean, you got to revert to the 7-minute. And you got to start making flags. And look, there's another bear flag here on the 7-minute time frame, which suggests that we will continue to the downside. Now you have resistance right there. 23,400. So if Bitcoin can't get above 23,500, expect more down. And had you been listening to me every day, I said if Bitcoin can't get above this area, expect more downside last night. If Bitcoin can't get above this area, expect more downside. I say these simple things, but they go right in and out of a lot of traders' ears, people that watch my channel. These are simple concepts, and they're like, but he said bullish because the 22-hour. I gave you the probability of the 22-hour, but I also said if Bitcoin can't get above a certain region, expect more downside. All right? It's simple. It's simple stuff. Look, this is also a shoulder, head, and a shoulder. We're dumping to the downside. All right? And look, here you can see me showing you that we're going to dump. Then they pumped us up, and then they dumped us, you know? Here's me calling a dump here on the 1 hour, you know? See? They're going to dump you right there. But what they did is they brought it right back up, and then they brought us. So I was correct, but they made the insane move here. This was just insane. What a bear trap. A bull trap. They try to get people to think they were breaking out of the pattern. They've been doing this so much lately because they know everyone's watching this falling wedge. That's a breakout of the falling wedge, so everyone gets in. They're going after what are called breakout traders. All right? And this is obvious to me. I don't trade breakouts. Nobody in my group will trade a breakout. I will never tell you. Every once in a while, I'll see this is breaking out. And what I will tell you is I'll say, look for a flag, wedge, or pennant on the 5, 7, or 15 minute to re-engage. You know what I'm saying? Because never chase a green candle. So we don't have any divergence right now on the 1 hour. That was a nasty dump. And they're both dumping to the downside. There's really no divergence. All right? This is crazy. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna delete. Now I'm gonna hide this work, and we're gonna start from scratch again, and we're gonna look at Bitcoin fresh, reassess the situation. Why I do this is anyone could show you a chart, but building my chart in front of you helps you understand how to build a chart, right? It gives you that education. Watching me play with my brain helps you understand how we get it done. Am I right? Right? So that's what I do here on the channel. So we get rid of everything and we look at it fresh yet again because we want to reassess. We want to see what's happening. All right. We also don't want to be biased to our previous assumptions or maybe a previous pattern. All right. So right off the bat, we can see there's strong support here at this node sticking out right there. So we're going to put in a nice, strong support zone here. And you can see that we've bounced on it. We've had chop there. If we bounce, that's a good area that we may get a bit of a bounce, okay? Right off the bat. Can we honestly say that maybe this was the pattern we broke out and we're attempting to retest the diagonal trend line of it? I don't know. That's a far-fetched area, you know, something to think about. I don't usually go there. I'm just being really open-minded, all right? At the end of the day, I feel like we did break the trend, you know? I would have to cut this trend off and not let it touch, which is okay, but it throws me off. Because if I let it touch, then I have 3 trend touches. 1, 2, 3. Or if we played this game here, you know? So, to me, we broke out of the pattern. And that's really sad for me because as a pattern trader, when I break the pattern, I have to come to terms with the fact that it's broken. All right. You break this, you're starting a dump to the downside. All right. Do not be surprised if Bitcoin ends up down here. Okay. Do not be freaked out. Do not be weary. It's okay. All right. Take it one day at a time. Well, I feel good today too. Who woke up this morning and worked out? I worked out this morning. I got my blood pumping. I did slow push-ups. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then slow back up. 1, 2, 3, 4. I did slow leg lifts. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Unbelievable. Yeah, everyone hit up ATB. For some reason, they didn't give me a day today on this week. I don't know what happened. They said they had a scheduling issue or something, but hit them up today and say, where's the lifer? Every Thursday, be like, where's the lifer at? Lifer, we want lifer. Guys, show up on ATB every day and say, where is the lifer at? Somehow they didn't give me a day this week. I don't know why. So my first week off of ATB, and maybe they will. They may contact me today or tomorrow. We don't know. They're pretty cool. They're awesome. I love them to death. They're the greatest people on earth. Whether there's a scheduling issue, we don't know. I got an ego. I take a little bit. Well, what's going on? But I just take a deep breath and I say, I was here. I came alone. I will go out. I came into the world alone. I go out of the world alone, baby. Right? So I must be able to know how it is to go out alone. But shout out to ATB. I love you. I can't wait to get back on there. But yeah, I don't know. So bombard ATB and demand that the lifer is back every single day at 5 o'clock. I want you guys to run in there and say, where's the lifer? Show them that the people want the lifer. Let them know. Let the people speak, man. The people speak. Bit Squad and lifers, you could be part of both. So speak. Let it be known. Let it be known. All right, so whenever the 1 hour is super low, you either have a long squeeze and a dump to the downside and you get pinned, or you do bounce back to the upside. We are expecting a bounce. However, you even broke, you could say you're slightly still in the channel. All right. So for me, we need to break back inside this pattern. Bitcoin has to get back above this POC, this red line right here. So if Bitcoin, to me, that's the big deal. Right here is the first level. But so bulls must break us back above, first, 23,670. Secondly, 24,000 to remain bullish. And thirdly, we must get back inside this pattern. So let's hope we're making somewhat of a shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder, and we do get back in here. Because if we do not get back in here, expect more downside. It's simple as that, everybody. All right? Shout out to everybody here. Shout out to Kevin Law. I'm a wannabe lifer. Well, make sure you're a real lifer, man. All depends on your goals, body type, and comfort level with the gym. Normally, how I start my day, Dustin, I feel you. I worked out, then I walked to the water, meditated, ready and clear-minded to do damage, man. That's so awesome, man. Good for you. Lifer, as soon as I have a spare 99, I'm definitely joining your group. You're awesome, bro. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for all you do. And thank you for saying that in the comment section. It's very nice of you. This market is hilarious. Oversold like crazy. The market's ridiculous. Honestly, ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Let's take a look at the Crypto Fear and Greed Index. What's up, beautiful? How you doing, sweetie?
Make sure to like and subscribe and hit the notification button.
Thank you, sweetie. Give me a kiss. I love you. Looks just like her daddy, right? Thank you, sweetie. How could you say no to her? How could you say no to her? Do the right thing, everybody. I didn't say a word. Do the right thing. Fear and Greed Index at 41. All right, that's going to keep pushing up and make bad prices for Bitcoin. I like to get down here. Come on back down for the good prices, baby. The good prices are down here. This is how you know you're a real lifer. You get depressed when the Fear and Greed Index gets above a 40. That's how you know you're a real lifer. No lie. Let's take this segment as a TikTok segment. Hi, everybody. How do you know you're becoming a real crypto lifer? Well, I'll tell you how. You look at the Fear and Greed Index. Hey, everybody. I'm Sam Price. I am the Crypto Lifer on YouTube. How do you know you're becoming a real crypto lifer? Well, I'll tell you. You go into the Fear and Greed Index every single day and check in on it. And you're getting really sad when this gets above a 40. Because you know the best prices were down here at 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 in the shaded area. So when you look at the Fear and Greed Index and you begin to get depressed when you're above 40, that means you are a crypto lifer. Because you've trained yourself to go against the grain, to buy the fear, and to get down when everybody else is in fear. So shout out to each and every one of you for coming on in. Thank you for being here. I do a live stream every single day, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., and Saturday and Sunday nights at 8 p.m. Jump on in to get the education, to feel fulfilled, and to, just see someone living their dreams. I'm living my dreams, baby. Wouldn't you want to live your dreams? So how do you live your dreams? You hang out with other people that live their dreams. It becomes infectious. It spills on over into your cup, and life becomes absolutely beautiful. So, all right. Let's get back into projection theory. Let's break it down. So I did show up this morning with a short on my hat. Called a short at 9 o'clock this morning to the trading group. All right. Really it's a bit sad because we're breaking this angle here. All right. Of my support zone that I've created. All right. But look, what if I get open-minded here and I say, you know what? The pattern is here.
And we've left that node, and that node isn't part of the pattern anymore. Ooh, look at that. I just got spicy with myself. Look at that. And see, I'm open-minded. I mean, I'll keep a chart with the older pattern on. But so this tells me that the trend line actually still is intact, somewhat. Isn't that kind of nuts? Not perfect, but not the worst either. Maybe we're starting to form this ascending triangle with a flatter top here. Love it if we came back up here. Which we don't want to see is the M pattern, which I keep talking about. So we break back up here. We get rejected. Then this breaks down to the downside. So I'm expecting a bounce. Usually the heavy red action is where you want to get in. I'm expecting a bounce. The 15-minute and the 1 hour are low. The 4 hours oversold. I mean, come on. I'm calling a long for Bitcoin here. I would long Bitcoin into these red candles. That's what I do. I wait for nasty days, horrible pain, and I open up a long for Bitcoin. So I would be open up a long for Bitcoin right now at this present moment. I like the 15-minute low. What I don't have is divergence. Let me see if I have it on the 5-minute time frame. I do. That's going to be good enough for me. I'd like it a lot stronger than that, but we have swing down to swing down. We have a flatter zone here. There is class C or B even hidden. That's not hidden, but that's regular bullish divergence there. It's also on a bigger scale. If I extend it this whole way and this comes on up, that's a bigger set of divergence right there. Interesting enough. Beautiful. Beautiful. The U.S. Gold Bureau. I called them one day. They try to sell me gold now. I only buy gold from Mike Maloney, and I told them that 100 times. Don't call me ever again, because I ain't going to buy gold from you, boy. They're like, maybe he's online. Let's get him some gold. Not going to happen, baby. So we had two channels at hand. I'm going to bring this down. That is the falling wedge there. We broke out of it twice. Now I see what's happening. Bullish divergence. I'm expecting a bounce back to the upside. However, I did say that, right? You're like, he's saying we're going to bounce. He's saying we're going to bounce. However, write this down. Please. Ready? You're going to hear it. If the bulls cannot break back above 23,800, expect more downside. All right? And that goes for a 6 hour. I say 4 hour. I'm going to start saying a 6 hour. I need a 6 hour candle to close up here because they're bringing it up and they're bringing it right back down. So we need the price action to kind of hang out a little longer than 2 to 3 hours. All right? We need a 6 hour candle to close above this resistance. So I'm expecting a bounce for Bitcoin. All right? Out of this falling wedge and out of this falling wedge now. I see the pattern a little bit here. Okay? Want to get a bounce back up. That's a stretch, but that's a stretch. I can't do that. Too much of a stretch. So, bit of a shoulder, head and a shoulder, dump to the downside. We saw the bear flag on the smaller time frame. And let me show you how can you figure out where you're going. It's simple. Know your patterns, right? And when I looked at this morning, I mean, even this looks shoulder, head, and a shoulder. You see it? It's hard to see, but it's right there. That's a head and shoulder pattern, clear as day. Like, they're like, clear as day to you, lifer, you know. And look, now you're making a bear flag too, so you watch these smaller time frames. Length of the pole is your next measured move in the fifth. I watch the smaller time frame, so watch. This 5 minute could dump us even more here. You know? And so then you set little, like, again, like Bitcoin's got to break above this resistance here and get out of this zone. It's got to make an inverted cup. It's got to basically make a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder and break back to the upside. All right. It does have some divergence here. We should get a bit of a push, but we're going to watch this 5 minute flag. See? You do this in conjunction with BOOKMAP to look at where the liquidity lies and where they're starting to stack the zone. You want to see this red start to flap up here. You want to see them switch the liquidity from down here back to up here. However, they're still sitting at 23.3. They have a huge order at 23,300. We're at 23.4, so they're suggesting by the order book that this will dump. This flag will dump to about 23,100, and they will get all their orders filled nicely right here. See, all the way down to 23K, and they will get nicely filled. So the bear flag suggests that we are going to dump a little more to the downside here and get those ordered filled. That's going to take about, 10 to 20 minutes. There you go. It's starting to dip now. I would expect to move down here to about 23,100. Then we could get a bounce if they get enough of the longs liquidated. Let's see if they got the longs liquidated. I learned how to gotta turn it on and off lately. Not seeing any liquidations at the moment. We're kind of tight in price action. That huge order, though. 2,100 Bitcoins at 23.3. I mean, they're going to fill that. We could expect is just a bling, right? And they fill that liquidity and bounce. This is how hard trading's been for Bitcoin. You need to really know what you're doing to trade Bitcoin recently. Look, there's a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder there. It's slanted, but that is what it is. 3 peaks, baby. See that? Shoulder. And then look, there's an M here. Dumb. It's all there for you, unless, you know, it's hard to see, but it's all there for you. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. 784 people on the live. 378 likes. Can I get the likes up to the watchers? Like my daughter, my beautiful 7-year-old daughter asked for the likes. Are you gonna deny a 7-year-old child? Honestly, I probably shouldn't even say that, but maybe she gave me, I don't know, man. SuperChats, Bitcoin, 23.3 levels, Jupe, FTM, and 3L. SuperChats, Bitcoin, 23.3 levels, Jupe, Phantom, 3L. So here's the deal, man. Curve back down. 1 minute is trying to save the day here and say, no, we're not going to go any lower here. I mean, they've liquidated everyone in the city. Doji candle on the daily. QQQ, beware. How many children you got, Lifer? 2, man. How are you feeling about ETH? The general consensus is pattern trading is ineffective on the low-term timeframes. Why is that? Who says that? People that don't know how to trade. See, the general consensus comes from the general consensus. There's only a very few amount of people that really know how to trade, so that's not the general consensus. So the people that know what they're talking about aren't going to say out loud what's going on in the charts. So you're referring to the masses, my man. Think about what you just said out loud. Most people that don't know much say this. That's really what you just said. The most ignorant people that don't know much say this. A guy that sits here every day and does this would never tell you that. I would never tell you that. Look, patterns play out on every single time frame. You just can't see them. Straight up. Lifer, the charts on the longer time frame speak for themselves. The market has not bottomed and will go a lot lower. I don't say stuff like that. See that? Simon Martin Anthony. What a bad idea to do. You're telling yourself, see, I could tell you're a beginner trader or you've only had 3 to 5 years. Anyone that has 7 to 8 years in trading would never say they know where Bitcoin's going to go. They wouldn't. You know, someone who's just a YouTuber been on, I guess they'll tell you exact dates and times, and I would never do that to you. It's not a smart idea, you know? Lifer, the charts of the longer time frames speak for themselves. So what do you mean, the longer time frames, like the 2 week? So let's break down what you just said. Honestly, if you haven't spent thousands of hours in the charts, I don't think you should even somewhat challenge the ideas that I present, because, and honestly, you're not even challenging them because I'm open-minded. Anything is possible, right? But let's go to the 2 week chart and let's talk about it. You said that the longer time frame charts speak for themselves. Yeah, the 2 week chart is screaming a bottom. Screaming. It's only been this low on the MACD. It's never been this low. Look at it. We go to the MACD. It's never been this low. You're talking about the 2 week chart, right? The bigger time frames, right? That's what you're talking about, right? Because you went to the 2 week, right? No, I want to know, where are you at, man? Where's this guy? Simone Martin. Where you at, dude? Where you at? The 3 month and the 6 month chart. All right. The 3 month, which is extremely oversold, about to pop to the upside, bouncing off the 21-day moving average with hidden bullish divergence. Hold on. Let's look at the 3 month on the index. That's bullish. I mean, yeah, you could have a MACD cross, but I don't judge the MACD. MACD's the worst indicator in the world. Stochastics are your indicator. And honestly, there's hidden bullish divergence there. Is there not? That's hidden bullish. Do you know what hidden bullish is? It's swing up to swing up with a swing down on the RSI. It tells you that the trend will continue to the upside with a higher high. Also, isn't that a bit of an emerging cup and handle? Isn't that a bit of a cup and handle, Sammy? Cup and handy? So I honestly don't know what you're talking about. You sound like a beginner, man. So I appreciate your insight, but it doesn't make any sense to me. That looks bullish to me. That's making a falling wedge. Nothing on the 3-month chart is suggesting that we're going lower. So, 2-week chart suggests that we are pumping and we have found a bottom. All right? But you do whatever makes you happy, man. I can't convince you either way. You do whatever makes you happy, But I'm gonna call you out. I'm gonna call every single person out here that says whatever they want. You can't say whatever you want. You got to back it up with a chart. You got to back it up with information. You got to know what you're talking about if you're going to open your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody here. 830 people, 430 likes, $14 in Super Chats. You people are unbelievable. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. This reminds me of that song. Sorry, I just had to. So shout out to everybody here on the live. Appreciate each and every one of you. All right. So this is the all-time history index for Bitcoin. Shows you everything in its succession. All right, like everything in its life cycle. Okay. We do need to get the moving averages a little tighter. I'll give you that. And we could go to 10K. I'll tell you right now, the 3-day, not looking good at all. All right. So look, let's take a look at the 3-day chart here. Let's assess the situation. And I'm glad you brought up the conversation. Much love to you and you. I love you, Simon. I just want you to know that. But tough love is the best type of love, right? I can't just let you do whatever you want, man. You did sound unprepared with your thesis. I have to give that to you. You did not sound well prepared with your thesis. So I think you should go back and spend like 5 more hours on that and then come back to the channel tomorrow and we'll nail it with you. So look, this is a rising wedge. Rising wedges break down 68% of the time. You're extremely overbought on the 3-day chart. All right. However, I've been trading for 15 years. I've seen anomalies in the 3-day that you may have never seen, or that your mentor has never seen, or the teacher or wherever you learned has never been able to show you these things. So look, here's the 3-day chart, extremely oversold, right? But look what happens. We pump out of nowhere, don't we? I've seen anomalies that you have not seen yet, or that 99% of beginners have not seen. That's why you want to come to the channel. That's why if you want to learn how to sail, you want to hire a person that's been sailing for 15 to 20 years. Not someone that just did it for 10 or 5 to 6. They may not have been in the storm of storms that's going to save your life. I've been there, baby. I've been sailing these waters for a long time. Jump on my ship with me. I'll captain you through the waves, baby. And the wind and the tempest. I will get you through, man. We will ride. We will ride. We will ride. All right? With Neptune, baby. So look, there's an anomaly on the 3-day where it was extremely overbought, but did we dump to the downside? No, we did not. Bitcoin would pump hard in an anomalic fashion. All right? That's an anomaly right there. Moving averages are getting tight on the 3-day. 21's coming up. That's a good sign that big action is coming. All right? Once the 21 starts to bend and curve, that's your bottom, baby. Let me show you the last time it did this on the 3-day chart. The 21 bends and curves, starts coming up to the 200. Your bottom has usually occurred once you're out of the 21. Did we leave the 21 before? We did right here. We're bending and curving. We still have some curvature to go, but if price action keeps pumping, what it's going to do is it's going to induce this 200 to cross the 50. Cross these, then the 200 is going to come on down. Then you're going to get really tight moving averages here, and boom! Just like you got here, just like you got right here, and just like you got right here. Okay? So, yes, I'm giving you every single piece of information that you can get. And I'm telling you right now, you won't get it anywhere else like this because I'm obsessive compulsive. I'm in the chart every single day for hours. I don't take time off. All I do is chart BTC and altcoins day in and day out. I don't trade the stock market. I do not lose my focus. My life is Bitcoin, right? Everything that provides for me is through Bitcoin, through trades. My whole life is cryptocurrency. So, just, a lot of other YouTubers, their life is making videos on YouTube. My life is in the charts, baby. I just happen to be a YouTuber. That's the difference between me and the other YouTubers. And I also was an actor for years, and I had a little bit of a personality and some training. And, I love being on camera, baby. So that also comes into play. And I used my voice for years as a rapper, so I've been on the mic for a long time. and I studied television and film for 8 years of my life, and I produced some multi-million-dollar shows on Netflix for David Letterman. So I've done a lot of things in the TV industry that get me ready and prepared to produce a beautiful show for you with good quality audio, good quality video, and good education. So that's why this channel is just not the same. Most YouTubers did not work for David Letterman. Just not what's going to happen. You're not going to see that on the resume, baby. I'm proud to say that out loud, So, yes, the 3-day is overbought. Yes, we could have a bit of an issue here. Yes, we're at the top of a trend line. Yes, we're at a POC. And there's a high probability this will dump on you to the downside. There still is a chance that Bitcoin can rip out of it. All right? So I'm open-minded at any given moment in time because I've seen so much of the market. See, if you haven't seen enough of the market, you won't be open-minded. Once you see enough of the market, it'll change your thought process. Because right now, like that guy who said we're going lower, he hasn't seen the anomalies I've seen. So God bless him, He has no clue what could happen because he hasn't seen it. I've seen it, and once you've seen a lot, you won't trust these markets at all. At all. You will be very wary of these markets. So what is the bucket with the balls inside? I'm new here. That is the tip jar. Send it a tip to watch the balls jump around. You can move my balls around. It would be awesome. Thank you so much to move the balls around in the jar right over there. Right over there. Move the balls around. I also sometimes take a sip of the tip jar because I get thirsty. All right? You've never seen this? Ooh, I forgot. I was like, the tip jar has to be in front of me to do that. So we got to move the tip jar all the way up into the right place. But yeah. Wait. Thank you for sending tips in my jar. I appreciate that. Very nice of you. Yeah, it's an interactive tip jar. Watch, try it out. Send $1.89. See your balls fall. Move lifers balls. Let's go. Shout out to everybody here. When is your next Saturday course? Just email cryptolifers@gmail and ask them. I forget every time. Sam, do you have any music you've created that you could check out? Yes, I do. So we have that. We have the 3-day chart. Then I also want to show you the 22-hour chart. And why am I showing you this? Because this has been interesting. All right. Today's a day we really have to spend a little more time with BTC. So let's take a look at the 22-hour chart. All right. And let's take a look at this pattern that we're in now. All right. And honestly, we haven't broken the pattern on the 22-hour. It's pretty much intact, right? Are we starting to see some bearish divergence on the 22? We are. That's not a good sign. Look, swing up to swing up. Swing down to swing down here. Now, yikes. See? Bearish divergence. Kind of a shoulder, head, and a shoulder, even though it's messy. 3 peaks. All right? You are getting overbought. You are down here and oversold, but I've seen big dumps come from there. So you could cross this dotted line, and we could see a massive dump. All right? Just be careful. This level's really got to hold. And if that level breaks, then this level must hold. We're right at a POC right now. Not a POC, but it very much is. It's right on point with that POC. They're really, really close. A high volume node. Bitcoin breaks this area. I'd wait for it to come on back one, and I'd be shorting to the downside. Unless they do a bear trap and they bring us back inside the pattern, I'd be willing to get stopped out on that bear trap and then open along at the bottom when we get back in the pattern. Right? That's how you lose the least amount of this situation. So if we break this area and we come back up, I'll be shorting this node right here for sure. If we come back to it, I'm going to be shorting that down to this node. So we're going to drop here, come back up. I'm going to start the short here and take it down to this node. That'd be a nice place to short. Look, there's not a lot of resistance. If we start to drop, we'll drop pretty fast in that zone. All right. So that's exactly how I would trade this on the 22-hour. Look out for that. I just gave you my special sauce. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice. But that's pretty good advice there. I mean, not advice, but that's pretty good. That's a pretty good tactic. I'm not giving you advice, but that's a pretty good trading tactic, right? Not financial advice, but that's trading 101, right? So that's a pretty good trading tactic there. Wait for your level to break. Watch it to retest the zone, and then ride it back down to a high liquidity area where you're likely to get some buying and selling orders picked up, right? That may have been left over from before, or maybe carried over into the future as well, right? Shout out to everybody here on the live. 910 people on the live, 489 likes. Thank you so much for the love. I really, really appreciate it. You people are unbelievable. Everybody, I'm not on ATB today or this week. You got to go on ATB today at 5 o'clock and say, where is the lifer? We want the lifer back. How come no lifer this week? Make a big stink about it. Say, hey, what's going on? The lifer. Also, anytime they ask me to be there, I would never call out short. I would never ask, I would always be 100% waiting and getting it in. So, some people say they're going to be there and then weeks later, I can't make it. I never once called out once because I love what I do and it's that important to me, I'm a little bummed I'm not on ATB today. I'll be this week. I'm honest, I'm a little bummed. It's also my OCD. I've been on ATB every week for I don't know how many weeks. 20 weeks is something crazy. So this will be the first week in a long time. All right. So we do a lot on this channel. Remember what we told you about the 22-hour time frame and hold it dear to your hat. All right. This is a bear rectangle. No way about it. That's a bearish rectangle. The breakdown is the measured move of the pole. All right. That's likely to dump on you. 5 minute is coming up, likely to dump. You're not making higher highs. Look, you got a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder there. It's a head and shoulder. You can see it on the 30-second shot. Look at it. Ugly patterns. Look, there's an M there too. So, probably is that we dump. I don't want to see us dump too bad. If we break certain levels, I'll be looking for a bearish retest to short. All right. So I'm still overall bullish on the bigger time frames. The 4 hour, the 1 hour, the 15-minute, everything's oversold. We're just waiting for that last kind of one more movement so we can see where we're going to dump and where we're going to go to. All right. And pure indecision too. This is insanity for Bitcoin. The price action is just so nasty and ugly. Taking everything I have to figure out what's going on. Everything in my 15 years of service, to the charts. We don't really have, I want to see a more cleaner support and resistance too, This is how you figure out where you're going, everybody. You watch for small, if we were pumping, you'd be looking at it upside down. You'd be like, wow, that's a nice flag on the 5, with a shoulder, head, and a shoulder. It'd be the opposite, exact same thing. And then the Stokes will be low. You're getting high Stokes, and you're not breaking previous highs. If you don't break a previous high when the Stokes reset, you're going to the downside. It's so simple to me, all right? People still short and thinking we're going to 10K. Honestly, anything is possible. They got to see, the thing is we need people to think we're going to 10K because the shorts will cover the longs and push us back to the upside. So we need that. Now, I'll tell you right now, though, they're spreading out this liquidity, and there's no liquidity up here anymore. They're going to 23,000. Look at that. They want to break this pattern. They desperately want to break us out down. So I'm seeing a breakdown here on BOOKMAP. Even though my oscillators do want to push us back to the upside, this is sketchy times for sure. This has a probability of 68% chance that you're going to break to the downside. So there's a 70% chance, if you round up, that this will break down to 23,100. All right. Stokes are not in your favor as well on the 5 minutes. So this is likely to continue to the downside. Very likely. Also with this shoulder, head, and the shoulder right here, continue to the downside. The thing is, you're oversold on every single time frame at this point. But the 3-day wants to take you down. 4-day is overbought too. I showed you the anomaly, but that's 1 out of 100 times. So more than likely you're going to dump. I just have to say that, but I have to point out things that no one else may notice, because I think that's the point, right? If someone doesn't notice it, you gotta point it out. Your channel should be unique. Everyone can look at TA, but you should come to, everyone's channel should have something different, right? You watch Tom Crown, you watch all these other people. Shout out to Tom Crown, by the way. Love you, brother. I really connected with Tom. He DM'd me the other day on Twitter, and we had a heart-to-heart, man. And I just, you know what? I got respect for that dude, man. He spoke to me in a way that I liked. And so I got respect for Tom Crown. I just want to make it clear. All right? And I'm a competitive guy. I try to go through 100 coins in 2 hours, and I compare my stream to everyone else. And honestly, that was the old me. I'm turning over a new leaf. Everyone is a beautiful person with a new perspective, and God bless them all, baby. God bless every other YouTuber out there. Just because they don't do it the way I do it. My thing is this, though. I am kind of a time guy, and I'm like, well, they should give you as much information as they can in a certain amount of time. I see a lot of people wasting your time, and that upsets me. So that's why I get so competitive. I'm like, oh, don't waste these people's times. Like, they don't have a lot of time on this earth. You know, don't play games here. So that's where that, like, kind of, like, want to go, you know, kind of tear up other YouTubers, you know, kind of competitively chew them alive. That's where it comes from, because I want to show you that you don't need to waste your time. Go for the best information. You can teach yourself. You don't need to pay thousands of dollars for courses and classes. My trading group is $99 a month. I do a beginner's course for $99. I don't gouge you. It's very, very inexpensive compared to what else you see online, and I can provide you with mental stability too. And you know, ways to stay positive in any situation in your life, how to dig yourself out of a hole, how to rework your subconscious mind to go after your dreams. Like in the words of Joe Dispenza, you know, you are what you think about, right? And if you think about the same things every day, then you will live the same life. So you must break the thought process, the pattern of thought that you're stuck in to change your life. There's no other way you're going to do that. Shout out to everybody here. We're on our way to 1,000 viewers today. I know we can do it. Keep hitting that like button, everybody. We're going to hit 1,000 viewers on the live stream. 923 people. Bang, bang, bang. It's a good time to show you the charts that we banged on to the upside. I talked about ABBC 2 days ago. I gave it live on the channel, baby. And let me tell you why I liked it. It was in a beautiful, tight pennant. I teach this all the time. Let's go to the 1 hour time frame. The 1 hour was in this beautiful bull pennant. Bull pennants break up 68% of the time. All right? I got my measured move by taking the length of the pole from here to there. It's actually even longer here. Look at that. Conservative at the time. That is even bigger, right? Then I had my support and resistance, and I had a stop loss here below this area, below this previous low at about 112.93. We would get into this at about 14. It's at 23 now, banging to the upside, and it would go all the way. Let's see how high it would really go up. Bitcoin taking it down now, but this thing went up 117%. Shout out to anyone that jumped into ABBC. 117% gains in my trading group. One of the premier coins. It was one of the only coins I put out a few days ago when I was looking at the market. I didn't like the market too much, but I was like, ABBC is extremely bullish here, right? And yeah, if you took advantage of that, shout out to any lifer that jumped into ABBC. Even if you scalped it for 20, took it for the whole 80 or 90, whatever you did, ABBC, bang, 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 right? And here you can see how I post them. ABC and a nice bullish pennant. Daily is overbought, so that adds to a lot of risk to the trade. I said, you know, you got to be careful. But that looked absolutely beautiful for 63% gains, and it would rip to the upside. Shout out to anyone that got into that. That's awesome. Then, like 4 or 5 days ago, I was looking at, if you look in my trading group, I was looking at EOS 3L. And this is a perfect time. You should stay when I do this, because watching how a trade went from before and after is really, really important. So look, EOS 3L exchange, falling wedge in a cup and handle, bounce off strong support, Stokes and the MACD are curving up, bounce off the golden pocket now at the 0.5 fib. So I looked at this, and I'm going to show you the chart, and it all looked like it was going to make a pretty big gain to me. EOS 3L looked beautiful. Something was brewing with this thing. The daily was super low. I was expecting a move. I put it out to the trading group, right? I felt weird putting it out because EOS 3L is not a popular coin. I rarely traded EOS 3L, and the project itself kind of fell off, right? Like, no one really talks about it at all. So to me, as I started to go over the coin, I was like, this is strange. I never trade this. But I just did what the technical analysis told me to do. Look at this. EOS 3L would bang for 128%, actually a little more, 137% gains from when I put it out. And everyone says, oh, he's just lucky. He posts so much, he's lucky. That's impossible to be lucky like that. You cannot be lucky when the market is absolutely horrible. And to take two of the biggest gainers out of the market, if you looked at the coins here and you scan the market, we got every coin on KuCoin here. And you can see, I mean, ABBC and EOS 3L, they're the top two gainers. And I put them out days ago. So it's not like, you know, and look, there's a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder. Boom. I put these out days ago, right? So we don't chase coins. We plan our trades. Like, look, this is 810. You would have been in the trade for 6 days before you made your 100%, but that's like 10%. That's like 15% a day for 6 days straight. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So bang, bang, bang. We nailed the top 2 gainers in the game today, and we did it by using cup and handle savvy. Cup and handle to the upside. Yeah, baby, yeah. No stop loss got hit in the making of this trade, everybody. Shout out to each and every one of you for jumping on in. So we still celebrate gains on the nastiest day of the week with Bitcoin doing absolute absurdities. I do not want to see this bear flag break down. I want to see it pump back up. I want to see a V-shaped recovery. But this 5-minute is just not looking great. We're going to watch this 5-minute chart. If Bitcoin can break back above resistance, right, then we can get back inside this pattern. There's a chance we can break out of the pattern. But if Bitcoin goes down lower, forget this falling wedge completely, and we're going to have to reassess the situation and rework the whole system. Thank you so much for joining the group. Someone just DM me. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining, man. I love you. His name is Neil Aurora. Neil Aurora, thank you so much for joining the group. I much appreciated. Thank you so much. This guy says he's a great analyst, too. Says he's going to bring a lot of punch to the group. So he's going to do some work this month and see how he does. And hey, let's see if he can bring some more gains to our trading group. You never know. How many trades do you all make at the same time? Is 3 to 5 a safe bet? I mean, it depends. Sometimes 1 or 2. You know what I'm saying? I say the least, the better. You know, you don't want to be overworking yourself. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. You got to do whatever makes you happy. 22,662 is Bitcoin's line in the sand. Yeah. So we'd like to see this break up and do a bit of a double bottom here. Probability in the Stokes is that that's not going to happen. So it's more likely we end up down here at 23,100. And look, this order is just this huge, this $2,100 order for Bitcoin is finally, I feel like they got it. Like they got it in there. They didn't get it all though. I want to see that whole order get taken out. Now you're seeing longs getting squeezed here. 64,000 in longs got liquidated. 6 different accounts just got liquidated for 67 grand. You know, I mean, they're coming to 23K. You can see there's just not enough liquidity up here to battle the liquidity down here. It's not a good, not a good look, you know. Let's take a look at the rest of the world markets. Let's see the health of the situation around us. Let's look at the ES1, which is the S&P Mini Futures, and break it down. Okay, S&P Mini Futures, let's break it down right now. So we were in this bull pennant. We wanted to break to the upside on the 5. We didn't. We actually hit resistance and we fell to the downside. Not a good look. So we wanted to see that pump, and instead we hit resistance and we dumped down, all right? Now, it didn't happen. Look, the 15-minute was oversold down here, came up, sideways, and then just dumped on you to the downside. Now, we are expecting a bit of a bounce, but that's just not that healthy, right? Well, look at the S&P. You have major support here. Ever since you broke above the zone, you've been making this rising wedge, see? Look, you just fell out of it to the downside. Very similar to what Bitcoin did, okay? And you're dumping to the downside now. 15-minute is pointing down. That's not healthy for Bitcoin. The S&P is going to continue to dump here on the 15-minute time frame. So even if Bitcoin's down, it's going to pin Bitcoin, and I see more downside. So zoom in here. See, you got a bit of a bear flag forming. And that, to me, wants to dump to the downside just like Bitcoin on the 5. So bearish times for the S&P. Broke back below 43, got rejected by the 4,300 zone. We don't want to see it go below 42. That was a big support zone that we broke above. Look, if you look left here, we had broke above this area, broke above this area. Right there, 42.44. Wow, I was talking about this when we first got to it because you look at it here. Sorry, it's hard to show because the S&P is so dang big and there's just so much price action. But look, we had resistance here, resistance there, bit of a chop there. So you knew that was an area you had to get above, and you had heavy resistance right here. So when the S&P started to move, look, and then resistance, and I kept saying, well, we got to get it back above that resistance. Like, if we can't break this resistance, no good. And so we were focused on that area. When we got to it, we got rejected. We came back up, but we blasted through it. This was just the other day, remember? We got above this resistance. It was a big deal. Sorry, I moved that line. We got above this resistance. It was a big deal. We moved. We bounced back up. Then we had our next set of resistance to get above, and we got above that one. So it's not the worst thing in the world, but I just would like to see the S&P hold structure, all right? Let's take a look at our daily time frame, which is extremely overbought in the S&P. A pullback is coming. we've had a run. Think about it. Bitcoin went from 17 all the way to 25. We've had a bit of a run, right? S&P went all the way from 36 all the way back up to 43.50. We've had a nice run, everybody. We did break a big resistance. So here's the deal. We can pull back. That's healthy. That's fine. The trend is still intact. Low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Bitcoin just must now put in a higher low on the S&P. The daily can reset, but we cannot go lower than this green zone. So let's look for the S&P to make a bit of a flag here on the daily time frame, touch the 21-day moving average, and continue to the upside. Little bit of a pullback for Bitcoin back to possibly 23.6, maybe even 22,500, because there's going to have to be some pullback here. So looking for a move back to the downside on the daily time frame for the S&P, where we just don't want it to be too brutal. Look at the 4 hour, and the 4 hour is heading oversold. It's a pretty good sign that we could kind of maybe make some magic here. So 4 hour oversold, not the worst, not too bad. We could go lower though. We don't want to break this green zone. We break this green zone, that will be heavy trouble for Bitcoin. Heavy trouble. So my line in the sand. So we're going to watch the ES1, the S&P mini futures. Why? Because what the S&P does, and specifically the futures, will have a direct correlation to Bitcoin. They move in tandem, basically. This might move a couple minutes before Bitcoin, and you can slightly front run it. All right. Again, too, they're making price action really sideways lately, and it's been some sketchy times. This happens a lot in the summer. Summer months are very, very strange, low liquidity. So it's easier for someone with big bags to kind of move the market around. So we want this flag to play out and for the S&P to break to the measured move of 46.43. We'll keep you updated as this occurs. We basically need this to happen for Bitcoin to remain bullish. So I do see a bit of a pullback, right? How long it'll take. But the 1 hour and the 4 hour want to pop too. So that's interesting, right? I mean, it's interesting. We're getting some mixed signals here. Can make this even a little smaller, but so I'm watching the S&P very closely, and I'm watching the close areas look like this. Previous resistance, bounce. So can you hold that now? Previous resistance, bounce. 15 minutes says no way, right? You're about to get doused, but could get flipped by the 7, which is low. Interesting. So that's why I make my flags, and I do not do anything until the flag either breaks or I either aggressively buy the bottom of the flag when it touches the 21 and I have divergence and low stochastic, or I see that we get up here and we don't break above the previous high and the stochastics get high, and then I short. So if the stochastics get high and we don't really break above the zone, I short. If the stochastics get low and we're at the bottom of the pattern and there's divergence, I long. So by watching this flag, I'm able to figure out what's going to happen in the next few hours. All right. It's really, really great way to trade. And I've perfected that as my trading style, right? Shout out to everybody here on the live. Wow, we didn't get to 1,000 people. Man, you guys could have keep hitting. It was up to you guys. Did it? It was you guys. You didn't help us cut. I mean, how do you feel right now? You must feel pretty low. Like a guy with 2 kids could have had 1,000 viewers, but you just didn't want to hit the like button. We got to 937, and you just weren't going to do it for the kid. You just were like, you know what? I'm just going to use a little hate in my heart. I'm not going to use love. If you use love, we should have 8. If everyone watching here use love, should be 866 likes, because love is the strongest frequency in the world. If you live in love, you're gonna be the strongest. So show me how strong you are. Hit that like button, baby. Get us to 860 likes. I don't understand. We would have got to 1,000 people. I'm extremely happy with 940. I'll be honest. That's unbelievable. I'm extremely happy with it. It's awesome. But I want to be around people that are the best versions of themselves. And the best version of yourself is someone who hits the like button. So I don't want to hang out with people that don't hit the like button. I want to hang out with people that hit that like button. I want to hang out with people that support other people. I want to hang out with positive people that choose to do the best for themselves and for the people around them. So become a lifer today by hitting that like button right now and changing your life. I'm telling you right now. Send in that positive vibes. Look, we hit 2 of the top gainers on the worst day of the market. You got to give us some credit, baby. You got to give us some credit. And I was scoping these out. This took hours and hours of me looking at charts, looking at Fibonacci, understanding cup and handles, tight moving averages, and the like, support and resistance, and all my oscillators to give this beautiful trade up 37% when the whole market is just completely just in indecision. So look, here we bounce off the liquidity zone now. Look, it's like they got it and we bounce. This is very strange, as we're at 23,400 yet again. All right. And that's why I just commit to watching the S&P and Bitcoin on the 5, because I've learned that that's the best way to track BTC. All right. You might have a better solution. All right. You know, show me your wins. Show me if you have as many wins as me. Show me if you've called Bitcoin as many times as I have, and we'll go from there. All right. Wow, look at that. They dipped it, and then they ripped it right back up. A bit of a double bottom here. That's a good sign. You're looking for these types of patterns. So let's look. Bit of a double bottom now, for sure, right? And the 5 minute is fickle. Remember that. But a double bottom, that's what you're looking for. That's usually what stops the carnage. So you need a bullish pattern to occur. That is a double bottom. Measured move back up to this next resistance point. That could also make the shoulder, the head, and the shoulder to make a bigger pattern to dig us on out. That also bounces us off the trend and gets us kind of back into the zone. And it also says that this bullish divergence was correct with the lower low there. However, I do not like how high the 7 minute is getting on the stochastics. 15 minute, though, is suggesting a bounce back to the upside. All right. There's really no strong divergence, but the MACD does want to turn back to the upside. So minutia on the 5 to 7. Let's see if the 15 minute, but again, remember, it's all about support and resistance now. If we can't get back above 23,500, expect more downside. So we need this 15 minute to reset, and boom, we need it to kind of do some damage. If it just comes up here and bends, you don't break a previous high, you're going further down. Any one of these levels doesn't break, it's likely you're going down. So like Bitcoin has to start putting in, it has to start breaking through some resistances. If it does not, you're headed down to the downside. Simple as that. Play the probabilities and play the support and resistance. All right. At the end of the day, you can have any indicator you want. You can do whatever you want. If you don't know your support and resistance, it does not matter, because your indicator will say something's going to happen and you'll be at resistance. And everyone who trades support and resistance will short that, and you'll get banged out because you'll be against the herd, or you'll be against the smart money, not the herd, but you'll be against the smart money. You don't want to be against the smart money. I'm telling you right now, not a good look. Shout out to 875 people on the live, 700 likes. We may still get to 1,000. I'm open-minded. We could still get to 1,000, everybody. You guys could recoup your losses here. You know, now there's only 180 people that don't want to feel out. You don't want to feel out. You want to be part of the life of crew, man. You want to live in love. Trust me. It's the best place to be. You don't want to be somewhere else. If you don't hit the like button, you're not going to feel like you're one of us. You know what I'm saying? That one action makes you feel like you're one of us. So become one of us. Become obsessive compulsive with your success. Go after it with a fever that you've never believed. Dude, it's going to be hard being broke. It's going to be hard paying debt. It's going to be hard being depressed. It's going to be hard not having enough money. It's also going to be hard being a multimillionaire. It's going to be hard waking up every day and running a giant company and having employees. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. Either way you do it, it's going to be hard. So why don't you choose to go all the way, baby? Because it's going to be hard. So if it's going to be hard, then you might as well go all the way, discipline yourself, and go after your dreams, because your dreams are going to be hard anyway. But you know what? Your nightmares are going to be hard too. So why don't you just go after your dreams? Because it's going to be hard no matter what you do, baby. Get easy out of your life. Anyone who's telling you is easy, get away from them. My dad said it to me every single day. If someone's telling you it's easy, get away from them. Simple as that. Nothing is easy. My father said it every day of my life. He probably said it more than anything else to me. Sam, nothing is easy. Making a sandwich is not easy. If you do it right, nothing is easy. Because what he means is there's consciousness and thought that goes into every little thing you do. And there's details involved. And if you just skip over those things and think it's sweet, then you're not doing it correctly. So no, nothing is easy. All right? Thank God my dad said that to me every single day of my life. It changed who I am for the rest of my life, man. Nothing is easy, baby. It's just not easy. Who's going to bombard ATB today for me on Around the Blockchain and say, where's the lifer at this week? Who's going to do it for me? Let me know if you're out there. Sup, lifer, could we check? ALBT, ISO token in a monster inverted head and shoulder. Bart Simpson. Will cause, unfortunately, not going to like, I struggled making my peanut butter sandwich yesterday. Definitely wasn't easy. Not going to lie. I struggled see? It wasn't easy, see? Lifer, I got a gem for you. UFO low on the 15 minute and the 1 hour and the 4 hour wants to push up. Cup and handy forming on the daily. It made some gains last night despite Bitcoin's behavior. Love you, man. Shout out to Blessed Auto Group, man. Funny, I've been all over UFO. We put it out just the other day and hit it for massive gains. So let's go over it again. Thank you so much for the love. I'll be there, Roddy Robinson. I'll be there. This bounce is struggling. Yeah, it's not looking good. Not looking good. Bitcoin can't get back above 23,500. Expect more downside. We got to get back inside. You could try to say we're in the pattern. We're just at the bottom. But you have to like make it kind of broad to do that. I guess that's all right. That's legit. And then you can say you're in this falling wedge now. And this wants to break back to the upside. So here's the pattern. We finally found some market structure that we can somewhat agree with. Here's the falling wedge. There's a little bit of bullish divergence there because that's a sharp swing down. And that swing down isn't nearly as sharp. So that is bullish. That's class C bullish because that's a sharp swing down. That's not. I'm expecting a bounce for Bitcoin on the divergence falling wedge. Measured move for BTC is here. Again, that's what the probability says, but if we don't get above resistance, then it doesn't matter. But it says we will get back up here. I'd like to break through this POC at 24,000. Yeah. So to me, it's all about 23.8 and 24K. You don't break those areas. You don't break this big green bar. Forget about it. Forget about it. So I'm predicting a bounce now for Bitcoin after my 2-hour assessment, right? But we still got to get above major levels, and I am still watching this 5-minute time frame because it is overbought on the Stokes and having a really hard time getting above its next previous high. And so I don't know how we want to make, what do we want to call it, but if you say it faked out and broke back in or whatever, but still, to me, a bearish rectangle willing to dump to the downside with a measured move here. So we're still watching this play out. Can we get the shoulder, the head, and the shoulder? It's possible. What if the Liker is going on a state tour to meet the Lifer family? Come to Denver. Oh, I'll be coming, baby. I'll be coming. Life definitely isn't easy. Thank you for being a positive part of my day. Anytime, Kevin Law. Anytime. I love you, bro. Let's take a look at the Super Chats. All right. He said something about Bitcoin Daily rejected from the wedge on June 11th. I can't really get into other people's like deep concepts. I'm sorry about that. Let's get into Jupe. Most annoying trade of my life. It actually pumped earlier today, which was so strange, right? Let's take a look at Jupe. Had a horrible double top, though. But look, Jupe did pump to the upside, got rejected by the top trend line, and came right back down. Let's get off the 3-hour chart there. Oversold in the 1 hour, you know. Kind of a giant cup and handle for Jupe. You see it? Look at the 4-hour time frame. Bit of a cup and handle for Jupe. And it's been holding this zone for such a long time. All right? The reason why I like Jupe is extremely oversold in the daily. So it's the one that should be able to blow at one point. I'm still in this coin. I've been in it for like, I don't know how many days. 12, 15 days? It's annoying. I'm honestly just in it now just out of complete curiosity at this point. I have $1,200 in the trade. I think I'm down like $110. I've been in the trade for days. It's annoying. I'll be honest. Very annoying. 1 hour in the daily suggests it's going to pump to the upside, so I'm just putting my trust in the daily. However, the daily just keeps kind of playing games here. All right. But I have put my trust in the daily time frame for Jupe. And I'm watching it closely. As long as it doesn't break this trend line, we're okay. Bitcoin dumps, it's going to dump everything. That's the sad thing. So if Bitcoin takes a dump, it's going to dump Jupe. It's going to dump every single thing. Screen share is on Thursdays, right? Every Thursday, not Wednesday. Yeah. Every Thursday night. I only changed it to Wednesday because of around the blockchain or something happened in my schedule. So I changed it to Wednesday for that day. But it is every Thursday. The reason it's Thursday is because we have a lot of people with Bible study on Wednesday night. We have like 5 different people that do Bible study on Wednesday night. And they DM me and separately too by coincidence and said, hey, could it be possible that we move the screen share? And man, I don't want to take someone's Bible study away. I think that's super important. I love that they're doing that. So in my mind, I said, let's move it to Thursday. So it's Thursday at 6:30 every Thursday. Shout out to Chrissy Fouts. We love you. What are you saying? Are you kidding me for? We love you, Chrissy. Yeah, Sam, come to Denver. Cup and handle on the 1 hour for BTC. Possible. Dating site getting the wrench. You're funny. What does that mean? I've had Wednesday night Bible study also. Thursday is perfect. See, look, a lot of people do Wednesday night Bible study. I don't know what it is. So, Super Chats, Phantom 3L, Doge are all coins as oversold as Rose, USD, CELR, NIM, ALBT, and OP. Likes, where are you? Right? Funny. 750 likes. Bitcoin will pull down the whole market if we are falling out of the bigger pattern. For sure it will. The weekly screen share is worth 99 on its own. If you're not yet in the 99 trading group, you are shorting your future. I agree with that. Nah, come back to St. Pete. Shout out to Roddy Robinson. We love you, brother. So let's jump into, I want to just look. So we looked at the world market. We looked at the S&P 500. We have a kind of handle on that. We want to look at the total market cap of all of cryptocurrency, right? So look, to me, it broke the parabola today. Like, look at that. Total market cap cleanly broke the parabola. In my humble opinion, like, that was a nice parabola, and it kind of broke it. Am I wrong? Like, you know? The idea is this. Yeah, I mean, the parabola, you have to open it up a little too much. It's ugly. You could feel that was the parabola. We broke it. We definitely broke it for the total market cap. So let me get rid of it for now because it's kind of done. So let's look at this now. I'm going to get rid of my moving averages. I want to clear my mind. I'm going to get rid of everything. We're going to reassess this, all right? We're going to reassess the total market cap. So we kind of unlike Bitcoin, we did come back to our previous chop. See, Bitcoin didn't do this. See our chop for Bitcoin? Bitcoin's on its, look, this is interesting. If we look at a Bitcoin chart, a random one like the FTX chart or whatever, look at all my old work here. But I've had this chart for a long time on. Haven't gone back to this. My point is, if you look at Bitcoin on the daily, here's Bitcoin's previous chop, right? Bitcoin never made it back to its previous chop. But the total market cap did. Here's its previous chop. It made it right back there. So previous support became resistance. So it's very important you're looking at this because before we even got there, that was a resistance area because that was the bottom of the previous move, right? So we already knew that this was going to be resistance for the total market cap because whenever you encounter a previous support, it becomes resistance. So, okay. So then we want to start identifying our support zones, right? One here, one right here because that's an SR flip that occurred. Resistance, came back for it for a bounce. Here's resistance. Do we come back for it for a bounce? So we're kind of at another one here, and there's a POC right there. You see that? That is the POC. It's the highest volume node sticking out of all of them on the total market cap on the daily. So it would behoove me to believe it's pretty that we would be getting a bounce here off of the POC. All right. Now I'll tell you one thing: if you do not bounce a POC, you usually try to retest it, and you will bounce down here to this liquidity zone. So this is going to be something to watch, the total market cap. Another thing is the total market cap is getting a little more oversold than BTC. Is its 3-day extremely overbought like Bitcoin? It is, though, and it's starting to dump on you. I mean, the 3-day says we could make a giant double bottom here. Trust me, we're going to take it level by level. You may be watching right now and you're like, he's not exactly sure. And I'll be honest, I'm okay with admitting that. I am not sure yet right now. There's certain levels that we're going to have to... A trader knows when certain areas are confirmed and not confirmed. We get a bounce off here, that's confirmation. We break below it, I'll be starting to short the market. So that POC on the daily, on total, is going to give us a lot of information. You want to pay attention to this, all right? If you're not paying attention to the total market cap and all of cryptocurrency, you're shooting, you know what I mean? I don't even want to say it, but you're doing yourself a bit of a disservice for sure. Shout out to the 872 people on the live. You people are unbelievable. Shout out to the 762 people kicking it with me. The retention here is unbelievable. They come and they stay. You people are unreal. Thank you so much for being here with me each and every day as we battle through the charts. It's not easy showing up every single day when the market is iffy and sketchy. It's not easy. But you know what? I love my life. I know that God has my back. We made it from 60K all the way down to 70K, and I'm still here. So if we go down to 10K, I'm pretty sure I'm still going to be here. So, and you're going to see me buy 6 Bitcoins down to 10K, and you're going to be like, wow. So I'm going to be convinced at that point to load up on BTC. All right. So that's it. This is what we have to see. If we break this POC, no good. So we don't want to go lower than $1.07 trillion. It's going to be a big deal to watch. All right. You're welcome, lifer, anytime, bro. Shout out to Banger618. XRP Wyckoff chart about to run and decouple Bitcoin or no. XRP is the last to pump, right? Anything is possible. I don't know. We in this together, brother, man. Thank you so much, Nat Soul. I remember you, Nat Soul. It's been a while, man. My dude. Appreciate you, brother. All right, so that looks like a rising wedge. Maybe that's why so many people call 14K at one point. No, I mean, that is a rising wedge. Rising wedges break down 68% of the time. You even have a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder in that. It's not good. And you're overbought on the 3-day. I mean, this is not a good look. You'd be looking for a bounce off of 1.1 or of 942, you know. And so, look, to me, same situation here, just a little adjusted for Bitcoin. We got some mixed signals going on. Rising wedges break up parabolically. Usually know they're going to break up if you're low on the stochastics. You're low on the 22-hour. A lot of mixed signals here. So we're going to wait through today. If this level holds, we're going to open up a lot of longs and long this puppy. This level breaks down, we're going to wait for a bearish retest of any of these areas here, and we're going to short the market. All right? So I'll keep you updated. I'll go level by level in the trading group, and I'm going to leave Bitcoin alone for now. I mean, I'm pretty, we're at 23.4, and the best way to track it for me right now, you can learn your own way or you can learn my way, is to watch it here on this 5-minute flag and make sure that we don't go down the measured move of the 5-minute flag. So you can see I'm looking at 22-hour all the way to the 5. I'm looking at multiple time frames to assess the situation, all right? Possible shoulder, head, and a shoulder, trying to make a move. But look, we're very overbought here, and you did not get, this is resistance now. You try to break this one, but, like, it's pretty weak, you know? Yeah, I could do this and just make it, like, yeah, see? It's a rising wedge. See it? Breaks to the downside 68% of the time, and now you're overbought on the 5-minute stochastic. So, and you didn't really get above the previous high. Like, you have a resistance there. So unless you get a short squeeze at this point, it's very likely they're going to go and fill 23,100 orders here. Very likely we're going down to 23,000. All right. It looks, if I didn't see BOOKMAP, I would say so. If I had BOOKMAP and not my TA, I would say so. And if I had just my TA, I would say so. And now I have BOOKMAP and my TA, and together they say so. So probability is very likely you're going to dump. Stokes are curving on you. Look at every time the Stokes were curving, reassess what I just taught you if you're new. Be like, okay, Stokes were high here. What happened? We dumped. Stokes were high here. We dumped. It's not going to be a huge dump. It's a 5-minute, right? Dump. But 1, 2, 3, 4, and we can go to 5 here. Yeah, that is 5 because that's the side. 1 dump, 2 dump, 3 dump, 4 dump. 5th time's a charm, baby. So it's just, that's not when I open up a long, I'll tell you that. Probability would tell you never to open a long up there. So headed to the downside, baby. That is what it is. Let's jump into the super chats. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for jumping on in. And I have a list called The Show. What The Show is, it has like everything you need to know about the whole world market. Got the Dow Jones dumping on you. Look, shoulder, head, and a shoulder on the 5-minute to the downside. We were happy that the Dow Jones pumped. We said, can we stay in this flag? The 1 hour is oversold. Could go sideways. I'm watching the Dow inside of a flag here. I would love it if it didn't go back into this resistance zone. So look, it pumped up really nicely. Resistance here, got above this, bounced, got above that one, bounced. So I'd like to see it stay above 33,750, all right? With that inflation bill, tell me how you reduce inflation by spending $700 billion. Can anyone tell me that? How do you reduce inflation by spending more money? Doesn't that just put you into more debt? Because doesn't that make the dollar more least valuable when you put more of it out there? If you use the dollar to pay for stuff, to fix, you know, it just, am I the only one that doesn't make any sense to? You know? And then American people are poor and have been pillaged. Small businesses have been just completely obliterated. The pandemic just completely deprived us. And now they're going to hire 87,000 new agents to go after everyone and their mother? I find it really strange, you know? It's really weird, man. Can the four... Like, I don't understand what's going on. Can someone please explain to me? Don't do that stuff. Don't do that stuff. Don't do that on my channel. Don't write LGB on my channel, please. I'm not trying to get political. I'm just trying to ask a simple math. I'm a math guy. I do math every day on this channel. We do math every day. How does spending $700 billion reduce inflation? How do you call it the Inflation Reduction Act when you're printing more money? It just doesn't make any sense to me. Am I wrong here? Maybe I'm just not that intelligent. Maybe my IQ is low. I was able to teach myself Bitcoin from my basement and then turn myself into a millionaire. But, you know, I basically was able to teach myself something with the help of mentors and other people and turn myself into a millionaire. But I'm an idiot, right? I'm a complete clown. I can't understand simple math, right? So I don't know. Missed revenue, honest folks end up filing in the gap. Yeah, see, even with those agents, the IRS cannot go after the wealthy. The wealthy have complicated amount of logistics to track their wealth. So much easier to hire agents to go after the small families. Been waiting 2 years on a tax return. I doubt they'll put the new guy. You're funny, man. Anyway, always pay your taxes. Just remember that. You do not want the boogeyman on your back. Just, you know, and again, I'm not a financial advisor. Do whatever. Hire a professional. All right. I won't even say that. Just hire a professional. All right. Watching the Dow in this flag. If the Dow can stay in this flag, we can be all right. I don't want to see the Dow go lower than $3,700. Let's take a look at Phantom 3L. Now we're going to tackle all the super chats, everybody. A lot of super chats came in. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for the super chat. $72 in chat revenue, 805 likes, 822 people on the live stream. My goodness, this is an occasion of occasions. So we talked about Phantom 3L could possibly do a retest there and make a bounce. When Bitcoin dumped today, it kind of lowered everything. The Phantom 3L dropped, everything began to drop. These beautiful market structures that we had began to fall. So let's take a look at Phantom 3L. Let's reassess, all right? We'll reassess the situation. That did look like a nice win to the upside, right? So here we're at resistance, and here we have a falling wedge, right? Not your best pattern at all. It's a bit tight here. You do have, look, resistance, 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 support, support, support. You have strong support here. So that's a strong support bar. You're also going to pull a Fibonacci here to help yourself figure out where you are in the fib zones. So I think I was a little off on the bottom there. Alt F is going to be how to do a fib shortcut. Alt F, okay? Alt H makes horizontal lines, okay? Alt T makes the trend lines real quick. Alt F. So everything I'm doing is with the shortcuts. I hit Alt T, bang. Alt T, bang. See that? Alt, and then I hit Control Z to get it away. Done, right? So Alt F is your Fibonacci. That's how you draw a fib real quick. And look, we are at in between the 0.5 and the 0.618. To me, we kind of broke this pattern. You broke the pattern, though. Honestly, very bearish. I wouldn't touch any trade until I see what Bitcoin's doing. in my humble opinion. I wouldn't touch any trade till I see what Bitcoin's doing, reassess the situation. Once I see Bitcoin break a certain level, I'll open up a 3S. Break another level, open up a 3L. But I don't trade indecision right now. It's just not, to me, it's not it's not the best look, right? Could we be making this bullish megaphone? No, I mean, to me, you broke the pattern. Hands down. Coming back down here for the measured move, possible, if you can't hold this support zone. 1 hour is oversold. 4 hours oversold. So, like, everything that I like is good. Like, high risk. Like, it's an aggressive entry right now if you get in right now. But, I mean, to the winner goes the spoils. That is a very aggressive entry for a Phantom 3L. You hit that, right? And honestly, it could be coming in for the bearish retest and then dump into the downside. And then that's kind of an M, see it? Just be careful, be wary of Phantom 3L right now. All right. That is an ETF, an electronically traded fund on KuCoin that gives you 3x leverage against Phantom. So if Phantom goes up, you'll make 3x leverage on that move. So we talked about Doge breaking out. It did hit the measured move, which is pretty interesting. And how did I figure out the measured move? Was the length of this pole here. Really the base of the triangle from that base to that base, kind of where you would find it. And then that's where we went perfectly on the measured move. It's so nuts. Then I said, okay, time to probably take some profit. All right. Funny, Doge has been on the loose, right? Compared to the rest of the market. Been pretty interesting to see Doge do that. Reassess the possible flag that we may be having here for Doge. And where we may end up going in the long run, right? So that's just an idea here. Doge coin is in a rising wedge. And let's take a look at the daily time frame. The daily is very overbought, and that's not a good look. And you're away from the 21. It had its nice move. It did its thing. And look, it's at previous resistance too. So if you mark your resistance, it's at the resistance and it's overbought. Now it could flip. Daily, it looks like it's attempting to flip, but most of the time you're headed down to the downside. I would make a flag, wait for the 21 to interact with price action, set an alert somewhere in the middle of the Stokes. When that alert hits, I'd reassess the situation. Dogecoin, I believe, needs to reset a little bit. It's at resistance. It needs to bounce off some type of support to find a zone, Again, I'm wary of the whole market right now because Bitcoin just in an indecisive place, right? Are all coins as oversold as Rose? We'll take a look at Rose. No, they're not. Rose is doing its thing. So look how oversold Rose is on the daily. I talked about it earlier today, but when Bitcoin dropped, like everything dropped their trend lines. You see? So Rose would fall out of the pattern, right? Sad to say. However, it's oversold in the 4 hour. Oversold on the daily, right? Oversold on the 1 hour. Like everything. And the 15-minute is pushing up. However, you got to go with markets, like what's happening in the market, right? I don't open up trades if Bitcoin's acting funky, hanging on resistance, So previous resistance, you had support here. You're attempting to stay out of this chop. That's a POC right there. A POC is called a point of control. The indicator we're using is the volume visible range profile, or volume range visible profile, or volume profile visible range, VRVP, VPVR. However, it's called the VRVP. If you type it in here and you really want to get it, if you type in VPVR, you will find it. But it is the VPVR right there, Viper. However, you can type in VRVP and the visual range volume profile, and just that's the real one too. So some people call it the VPVR, some people call it the VRVP. Technically, it is the visible range volume profile, or the volume profile visible range. I mean, both work for me, right? So yes, I mean, you're looking for a bounce here. This is where you would get a bounce or a wick back into the pattern. However, you're breaking structure and you're going low, and but you're very oversold. I would expect a bounce for Rose. So no, not everything is as oversold as Rose. Okay, including Bitcoin, right? That was a weird. So that's Rose in a nutshell. CELR, ABT, OP, MCRT, and ACH. ACH is in the dumps, man. Playing QB, not getting hurt. Kevin Baker, I played QB in the Big Ten back in 2000, 2002. Then I transferred to NDSU 03 and 04. I had like 3 diagnosed. Yo, what's your real name, dude? Let's get a picture of you, bro. Bison9, what's your name, man? Can we get your name? You played QB in the Big Ten? I want to see a picture of you on the best 10 quarterbacks of all time. Are you one of the best 10? My top 10 QBs of the 2000s. Now I need to get the watches up to the likes. I know that's what happens. It goes backwards. That's what happens, man. And we reassess. But 824 likes, $72 in chat revenue. You people are unbelievable. Thank you so much. And as much as I want to go through all the alts, it's just not a day you rip through the alts. Yeah, every day is different. Remember the other night was alt after alt after alt and insanity. You got to take advantage of the market when the market's hot. There's days when the market's hot and days when it's not. You get a $100 super chat every day. Have you ever thought about giving back to the community, like sponsoring one person of your 99 Discord for free every Sunday after church? I do all the time. We gave someone a new the other day. Actually, we're going to be doing something big. Big. Let me show you. And how dare you question me, man? Like, it's just kind of rude, right? You make all this money a day. Do you ever think about giving back? Like, jeez Louise, man. But look, Jimmy. I like this guy, Jimmy Amasial, right? What Jimmy did was he was visiting his mother, right? He was visiting his mother. I couldn't believe I was seeing my eyes prickle with tears, hearing the suffering in his voice as he cried. The very next day at the hospital, I was asked, would you like to be his legal guardian? Finding a baby or becoming a dad wasn't my expectation at all, but I believe God gave me the opportunity to transfer Emilio's life from the trash where he was abandoned to a wonderful life. So I found this story, and we are going to give him $2,000, all right? I'm sending him $2,000 to his PayPal, all right? I DM'd him, and I said, yo, man, I want to change your life. This is amazing. And I said, and he DM'd me. We had an amazing conversation, So I said, and he said he's going to come on the show too, right? And so, I shouldn't show all my private conversations, but so look, he, and I'm going to give him $2,000. I'm going to give him $2,000 because, he found a kid in the trash, man, and he became a father. Like, I'm going to cry if I bring it up, man. Like he found a baby in the trash, and they weren't going to take care of it because they thought it was got black magic or something. The person who had the baby put it, and so no one was going to take care of it. And he sat there and he's like, am I going to walk away from a child? Am I going to walk away from a child? Or am I going to do the right thing? And he didn't walk away from that kid. And now he's 27 years old and he's a dad, and that's his life. He answered God's call. God asked him to do something. He answered God's call. And so, you know what? When I said that, I said, man, if you don't do something with all the money you're making, with all the success in your life, if you don't reach out to this guy and you don't send him some money, you're a fake. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to give some money to this dude. I'm going to help this guy out. And I said, I want to take a role in this kid's life. I want to hear about his life. Maybe I'll take them on vacation with my family one day. I want to give this kid a great life, and I want to help this man out. So every once in a while, I see things in the world that I just don't agree with. I saw the Afghans, people selling their daughters for food, and I said, man, we got to send them some food, So, and so, we're in talks with Jimmy. We're going to have him on the show. We're going to talk about what he did. We're going to cry our eyes out. It's going to be an amazing experience. And then we're going to send Jimmy $2,000 to help him on his way. And I know it's not a lot, and we're going to do more. But, man, how could you see a kid in the trash? Every one of us was a baby. Every one of us was by ourselves with no one to help us. How could you put a baby in the trash? Sorry, I just need a moment. Sorry right now. I need a moment right now. All right. Now, how could you put a baby in the trash? When I say it out loud, oh my God, A life like a little baby all by itself. It can't do anything for itself. Let me have some water and replenish. Okay. All right. Oh my God. Shout out to Alex Diaz. Thank you for the $58.90, man. I wasn't trying to get a super chat, man, but like, man. Thank you very much, Alex. If you want, I'll add that in, you know. Men cry too. We're human, man. God is and will be with that baby. Amen. Lifer, love you, man. Realest dude on the internet. Hey, man, I'm really sorry if I hurt your feelings in some way. You're a great person. You're doing what most of the people ignore and live their life like nothing is going on. Thank you, man. I appreciate you, Keanu. Is that really Keanu Reeves? Is that the real Keanu? I love your movies, man. They're awesome. One day I'll be giving back like you are, Sam. This is amazing. Everything is going south. You're the man, Sam. What the heck happened? Make me cry, my well chop, Sam. Coworkers just don't know, man. Hey, man, if you can feel it, you can believe it. And if you can believe it, you're part of it. And that makes you a lifer. If you cry right now, you're a lifer. That means you have a heart and soul. Come on, man. How could you walk away from a baby in the trash? You know what I'm saying? Like, unbelievable. Like, so we're sitting right where we were before. Nothing has changed. Bitcoin on the 5-minute chart. And hopefully we get a short squeeze. That's what's been happening. You know, we have a shoulder, head, and a shoulder now forming. There's some hope. There's some hope that we are going to maybe reassess. So, look. I'm open. I'm going to keep both because I don't want to lose my market structure idea here. And again, we use BOOKMAP every day here on the channel, and you can see BOOKMAP is clearly just loading up the liquidity down here. They're just not giving us any buy orders, any sell orders to bring us up to. Okay. Possible a double bottom now. We need to hold the zone. Super important. Bitcoin holds 23,300. All right. When I get rich, eventually I'm going to pay it forward when I get the chance to. Samuel's legit. He got his priorities straight. Lots of other market guys on YouTube just shill affiliate links. Yeah, man, I got no Bybit links here. I'm not trying to take money from y'all. I'm trying to teach you and live a good life. Like, I have to charge for my trading group because I put all my time into it, right? So if I didn't charge, I'd be broke, right? I mean, I guess I make enough money trading, but I want to have multiple streams of income. I want to change the world. I want to make billions of dollars. So I want to make money trading. I want to make money with my trading group. I want to make money helping people. I want to make money with the education. I want to make money in so many different ways, and I want to use that money to give back to others. All right, and I want to put it where it can do the best for others, and I want to be a vehicle for God to move money through me, and that's what I want. That's my goal in life. I'm gonna make 10 billion and give away 9. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to do it. Just like I said to myself, I was going to start a YouTube channel, and I did it. Just like I said I was going to get to 10,000 subscribers, and I did it. Just like I said I was going to get to 20,000 subscribers, and I did it. Just like I was going to get to 30,000 subscribers, and I did it. I'm going to get to 100,000 subscribers. I'm going to get to 1 million subscribers. I'm going to make $10 billion. I'm going to give away 9. Because I do exactly what I say I'm going to do. Hands down, every single time. And I don't care how long it takes. I will die going there. I will die basically achieving my goals. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to stop. Okay. Let's take a look at CELR. CELR had a beautiful move, by the way. We hit the gains for CELR. Thanks for Tori for putting it out there. And when I talked about it, I said it's going to pop. So we called this pump for CELR up 48% gains, and we nailed it. We even called the secondary channel after that. So look. I even called a possible retest right there as it happened. Bang, CELR made 40% gains from that retest. We were even trading it down here, but, you know, we found this back in the day on the channel. Tori asked about CELR every single day. We were all over it. Look, then it made an M pattern, a double top, and it dumped to the downside. The measured move of the M. So now you can reassess the situation, all right? What you want to do is you want to go to the daily, and you want to put in your support and resistance lines. The first thing you do before you look at any chart is support and resistance. I believe CELR is on Binance, right? So it's better off to use the bigger chart. We even had it here bouncing up to the upside on the Binance chart. That happened. So we look at CELR here, right? And, I mean, it's at the lows. So we made some gains on it. It's funny when you're looking at it, like, oh, I made some gains. But then when you really look at it, you're like, whoa. Came up. This thing did damage. It went from, like, less than a penny all the way to 20 cents. I mean, it did like a 50x, 30, something crazy. Came back down. Now it's assessing a new higher lows, right? Lower than it used to be. But, I mean, yikes. So the first thing, we don't even have to look at everything. Like, it's got to get above that zone and that zone and that zone. Like, we can, like, everything else is kind of, We clearly have support here for CELR. It made a bit of an inverted, right? Your shoulder, a head, and a shoulder. Inverted head and shoulder is why I said inverted. So then we reassess. Like, so we see our bigger zones. We can figure that out. And we see our last resistance. You kind of have resistance in the bounce there. If you break that, you're heading down lower. So let's put on our moving averages. We're hitting the 21, but you're super far away from the 200. You're tight. Interesting. Daily's getting oversold. 4 hours extremely oversold. But you got a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder there. Whole market's tipsy-turvy today. A horrible Wednesday. Like, Wednesday's usually my favorite day to trade. They ruined Wednesday this week, for sure. They completely ruined it, So, like, swing up to swing up, swing down to swing down. That's bearish divergence. It did start to play out. So, you got to hold the support. If you hold the support, you will bounce, get a bounce. I like where the daily is. It's not the worst thing in the world, right? And a move for $40. Shout out to the 80 pounds. Send him 2,100. 100 from me, Sam. Thank you so much, man. Shout out to Robert Meek. Well, it's sad. YouTube takes 30% of that, so I'll go down to $70. And that's then counted as income, and then I have to pay 30% on income. So when you send me $100, it's $30. Isn't that funny? How amazing is that? Right? Because you have to pay 30% of your income. YouTube takes 30%, so I only get $70. Then they cut that in half. It's crazy, right? But you know what? I'll still send the 21. All right, because I'm a good dude. All right, I'll eat it because it'll come back to me. Every time you spend more, it comes back to you, baby. It comes back to you. All right. Strange things happening on the market. We will remember these days in a few years if health allows. I know, right? Income tax is fraud. Don't even say stuff like that, man. Be careful, Daniel. Don't get yourself. You don't want to be targeted, man. And I don't want you targeting us. Don't say stuff like that ever again on my channel. Pay your taxes. Do the right thing. You do not want to deal with it. I'm telling you right now. Again, I'm not even going to say that. Just get yourself a professional and do whatever you got to do. All right? I'm not a financial advisor. I'll never tell you what to do. You get yourself an accountant, hire a professional, and do what they tell you to do. 30%. Damn, YouTube. Jimmy from down the block, give me a better VIG. I know, right? Won't be nearly as good without you. You're not as tax savvy. You're not tax savvy yet, but you will be. Can you set it another way so they don't take most of it? I was saying to join your channel, I have 30 pound I can send for that baby. Please tell me where I can send it. You can PayPal Jimmy. All right? I have Jimmy's PayPal, and if you email me, I could have you just PayPal Jimmy yourself, right? So yeah. I'll ask him if I can share his PayPal, but I'm going to have to ask him for that, right? I can't just give out his PayPal information without asking. So I'm going to have to ask if I can share his PayPal, and if you feel like sending him some money, just send him a PayPal with a message. This is for you, Jimmy, and for what you did. I love you, brother. Lifer gang, and then he'll be like, wow. You know what I'm saying? So there's CELR. Let's take a look at NIMIC. NIMIC has been nice because it's been giving incentives for holding the coin, right? So, look, that's why it's been holding this 618 for so long. It's very interesting. And you can see how people are staking coins and getting rewards. So, like, there's something going on with the staking why NIMIC won't go lower than the 618, all right? See the 4-hour assessing. You see the daily probably, getting oversold now, pushing back to the upside, but not getting any love either. It is also showing kind of indecisiveness. I do see NIMIC sitting here at the 618. I think it's only a matter of time before it breaks back to the upside. I like that it's holding the zone and it's at a POC. So it's holding the POC at the 618. Coincidence? That's confluence. So expect a bounce there eventually, but it's also been going sideways too as well. 4 hours also kind of in indecision, pushing to the downside. It's kind of interesting. 1 hour has a bit of a move. Not my trade because of the strange price action, but, you know, if you like this coin, if you know a little more about it, it is touching the 618 Fibonacci level, all right? ALBT, I used to trade this back in the day, Alliance block. It's been a while, haven't seen it in a minute. So we put out ALBT, and we hit it for 9% gains. Then it came back. Remember, if you're in a trade on like a 4-hour time frame, all right, and you're looking for gains, and you boom up, and you start to curve on the stochastics, I don't care if you didn't hit the measured move. So this is what I think beginners may do in my channel. They join the group, they reassess, they rechart, they see a situation like this, they get in, and they believe that they have to stay in the trade till they get to the measured move because lifer hits the measured move every time. It has to. So they stay in the trade, and then they're down here and they get stopped out. What I do is once I'm up above my once I'm up 5 to 7%. So look, I have a 6% stop loss, right? Once I'm up, I basically use the adjustment theory. The adjustment theory is this. You're in here at evens, right? Your trade goes up 10%. Then I take 5 of that 10 and raise my stop. So if my stop is here, all right, and my trade goes up, I turn this risk from the 10. If I'm up 10, I take 5 off, and I send this to 1% stop, okay? If I keep going up, I do the same thing. And if I get a big enough move and I'm up like, if I'm up 10, once I'm up 10, I usually raise my stop loss into the positive, like into here up like a percentage or 2%. Worst comes to worst, I take out a little bit of money from the trade. I don't lose. It pays for my fees, and I'm back to my capital. So I'm always tracking the capital with the stop loss. I'm always raising my stop loss. You can use a stop loss, a trailing stop loss, but it's somewhat automated and it doesn't work perfectly. So you have to, I like to manually do a lot of my trades. I was taught to manually trade a lot, so I trade a lot manually, It just is what it is. You see what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that kicked it with us all the way to 12 o'clock. 663 members, 862 likes, $234 in chat revenue. We're gonna take some of that and send it in. I appreciate that. I know some of that came in for Jimmy, so I appreciate that. And again, be careful doing that. Just next time, email me and we'll tell you where to send it, and then just send it to the right place. I just don't want to deal with any headaches. You know what I'm saying? It's probably fine. I just don't want to deal with it. Look, shoulder, head, and a shoulder, bit of a double bottom. This is a good sign that Bitcoin is finding a bottom. This is how you find bottoms on smaller time frames. Eventually, the bleeding has to stop. Look, a bit of a shoulder, a head and a shoulder, a bit of a double bottom here. We're looping back up on the 5. The 5 didn't take us to the measured move. We're trying to make a move back to the upside. We're trying to break out of this falling wedge. Remember, Bitcoin must get above certain levels now. 23,500 is your big boy area to get above. If you don't get above 23.5, you are headed to the downside. So that's your Bitcoin update for now. You still have resistance right here at 23,500. If you can't get above it, then we're going to head to the downside. So expect a break back above 23.5, or we will head even further to the downside. Beautiful. I can feel it in my bones, baby. Emma is my 8-year-old, man. Shout out to you, baby. I'm a 50-year-old Army vet. It's all good. Lifer, the big money Wall Streets are covering their short positions. Eventually, they're going to win. It's sad, but true. Blessed Auto Group. You never know. OP, MCRT, and ACH. Let's take a look at OP. OP has been nice on the daily. I keep looking at it, right? You have to remember, any trade could dump on you. So we look at this on the daily time frame, and it's been respecting its position. All right? Trying to break it down here, but look, previous resistance, it's there. And now if it breaks, it's going to go lower to this zone. If it goes to this zone, that's probably the best price for it. Like, that's going to be a really good place. But it has slight hidden bullish in the 4-hour. Because that's kind of swinging down. See, that was swinging up. Swinging to the upside here. Actually, it was the daily. Hold on. Was it 22? No, but yeah, that's swinging to the upside, and this swings to the downside. If you look at divergence cheat sheet, that is hidden bullish divergence. It says that the trend will continue to the upside. So I've been watching this closely. All right. It's very oversold in the daily. Very oversold in the 4 hour. Very oversold in the 1 hour. I've been screaming about this for days now. This could be like an EOS 3L, even though there's no 3L for this, but, you know, it's kind of not talked about. It's optimism. It does have something to do with Ethereum, right? And the movement there, too. So it's got that going for it with the merge. It just, you know, and I'm not guaranteeing anything, and I don't own any of this, and I'm not in the trade yet. I'm just watching this trade closely. Op has been on my radar for a while. Shout out to anyone that super chatted Art. MCRT is meter govern. No, is it? No, MCRT. I don't know what that is. Microcraft, Spooky Swap, MCRT, Spooky Swap. Oh, wow, they actually have Spooky Swap here? It's pretty cool. I didn't know you could start tracking coins on Spooky Swap here. Wow, this thing has been ripping. Magicraft. Up 468% gains. Now, it's a meme coin. Looks like it has something to do with the Phantom network, right? Because if it's on Spooky Swap, it's Phantom. So weird, everything is Bitcoin. Like, this is Bitcoin, right? It pumped up to 20K. It dumped down to 3K. Came up, the pandemic dump. And then, like, it's funny. Like, I see, like, the old Bitcoin chart and a lot of coins. It's not perfect, but it has the essences of the old Bitcoin chart, you know? Back before we broke above 20,000 for the first time, you know? So we are flagging. You're oversold in the 1 hour. This thing could continue to the upside. It's looking bullish. People keep buying it. Again, it's a meme coin. High risk, high reward. Be very careful if you trade this. You might not even know how to trade it. Most beginners won't. How to trade something like this, I'll teach you right now, but I'm not telling you, do not go trade this. But I'm just going to give you the information. Go to CoinMarketCap. Type in the coin. All right. MCRT. Magicraft, right? You're going to find the contract address. It should have multiple. It has an Ethereum, it has a Phantom, and it has a Binance Smart Chain. All right. So what you're going to do is you're going to copy the contract address. Okay. And then you could go over to PancakeSwap. All right. And you'd have to get a MetaMask wallet. You go to pancakeswap.finance and you would go to trade, swap. You would actually, you know, you have to get BNB and send it to your, you know, and I have a class teaching this stuff. I teach this stuff. I've pulled back the MetaMask course, but right, you'd import this from that contract address. This is stuff we do all the time. This is decentralized finance, everybody. The future of the world. And then with your BNB, you buy, you know, I don't have a wallet, but you would buy MCRT here. And then you could resell it again. You could swap it for BNB. You could swap it for almost any coin you have, too. But you would need BNB in your wallet to pay for the fees. All right? That's how you would get your hands. And you could also do this on Spooky Swap because it has a multi-chain address. Multi-chain addresses are amazing. So you go to spooky.fi, Spooky Swap. You go over here again and you grab the Phantom address. But remember, if you're grabbing an address, make sure you're grabbing the right address of the right chain. You go to swap here. You click on this. You paste this in, MCRT, and you would buy it for Phantom. Here, everything would be used. You would use Phantom to buy MCRT. So that's made a lot of money for Phantom. Had you bought it for Phantom, it had 4x your Phantom in the last few days. So small coins are still memeing in the background. Now, I don't want beginners to get into meme coins. I always tell someone you got to make 100 grand spot trading before you can trade your first meme coin. It's like a rite of passage, in my humble opinion. And again, you do whatever makes you happy. That's just a funny thing for me. I didn't feel like I had a right to trade those until I made more money. You know what I'm saying? Let's take a look at ACH, which is Alchemy Pay here on Binance. And actually hold a little bit of this just because, you know, I read something about it, you know, being a payment system in Asia or something. So I was like, maybe it could work, but they never really fully delivered. They've been sideways ever since. It is forming higher lows in a row. It needs to get above this POC. Let's take a look at the daily time frame. The daily's getting oversold. That's a good sign, and it's at the bottom of a channel. Compared to everything else, it may bounce. It's actually holding its own pretty well right now. 22-hour could bang on you. Again, if Bitcoin dumps, it's going to dump the whole market. If it stays sideways or pumps, it's going to help the altcoins just kind of maintain. So that's why we go over Bitcoin feverishly, religiously every single day. But I do see Alchemy Pay making some gains here. High risk with the market. Stops below the secondary support line. That's where I would put my stop. 1, 2, right here, stops below. That's where I would put my stop. You do whatever makes you happy. You got to get educated before you even look at something like that. You got to rechart this, see if it fits your trading style. You know, put your technical analysis on it. And if it fits your trading style, then you take advantage of this. Alchemy Pay. It's right below a POC. It gets above that, it will blast to this area pretty easily for 20% gains. I've seen it happen many, many times with the VRVP. Or the VR, that's just what it does. All right. And don't worry, if you're new here, don't worry. We took Bitcoin from 59 all the way to 70K, all the way to 17,000. Like, we've handled some of the nastiest drops in the world, and my group has made it through. We've pushed forward at the speed of light. People keep learning. People keep helping. People keep progressing, and we stay positive. That's the key. Yeah, so we're gonna change Jimmy's life. He changed the kid's life. And you know what? I'm going to keep that close to my heart for a long, long time. Everybody, thank you so much for being here. I'm jumping out for the day. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here, man. I would have been so close to a billionaire. That's the sad thing. Funny, man. I'd pay it forward when I could finally afford it. I would have been so close to being a billionaire. That's the sad thing. Dang. I haven't been close to being a billionaire, but I will be. I will become a billionaire. I will make it happen. I will work so hard every single day until it happens. I will work 7 days a week for the next 20 years until I achieve my goals. It is what it is, man. All right. Everybody, thank you so much for being here. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. Remember, if you came to the channel, then you're already doing the right thing. I appreciate you all. I have gratitude to every single soul, every single set of eyes, every single finger that touches that like button, every single heartbeat that beats with me while this stream is on. I have so much gratitude for each and every one of you. Shout out to Jimmy. Shout out to everyone that changes the world. Shout out to Roddy Robinson for always being there for me. I love you. Shout out to Dustin Cava for always holding me down with great energy and great vibes. Shout out to all my moderators. DJ Porter Rock for helping me achieve my dreams. I love you. I love you, Josh, man. Shout out to everybody here on the live. I love you so much. Everyone here. If I didn't mention your name, I'm sorry. But CJ Baker, Clem, Peter, Emma, Lokochi, every one of you that are here, Alucard, Robert Mike, every single person here, Crypto Life Changer, I love you, brother. You're a mod. I gotta make you a mod. You're such a nice guy. You get to be a mod, man. You've done so much for our group. I don't know why you weren't a mod yet. Apologize for that. When Dizzle, we love you. Your energy is infectious. You're in the group is so amazing. You paid for the year and you got busy. I love you for that. David Kendall, you walked to the beach and meditated in the water today after your prayer. I love you for that. Zero Allegiance, you always make us laugh. You're the best. Dustin Cava, you always have something nice to say, and you really, really help the people in the chat. You're very considerate. Roddy Robinson, man. Bye, Felicia. I love you, man. Love learning. What else can I say about your dedication to my group? You're at every single tutoring session that I put on. You always tell me to put the screen share. I always forget something. You're always there to make sure my tutoring sessions go smoothly. I owe you my life. You're the best. Every one of you. You've helped me achieve great things. I love you all. Thank you so much. I'm going to go cry alone. Have a good day. Be safe. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And I'll see you back with Bitcoin updates. We're still mulling over 23,300 with this fat order here. It's boring, baby. It is what it is. We're going to get through each and every day together. And not every day is a game day. You know? I love you all. I'll see you on the next live stream. Crypto is life. Believe in yourself. You can. You will. You are the best. Nobody should tell you what you can do with your life. Only you know. And you can. You will. You are. You're the best. Have a great day, everybody. Be safe. Thank you so much for everything. I love you all. One love. One love, baby. One love. They can't stop the love. If we live in love, they'll never beat us.